lower class and social slime, they don't matter, genocide. Sick from water, sick from air, making money, they don't care. Caesar shit, force of air, fuck them back, it's only for they bomb. They shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape, they burn the kids. No one makes countries laugh to your face, fight and die, cause God forgives. Selling lies and buying time, killing people next in line. Lower class and social slide, they don't matter, genocide. Sick from water, sick from air, making money, they don't care. See their shit, force a bear, fuck them back, that's only fair. They bomb, they shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape, they burn the kids. No one makes countries lie to your face, fight and die, cause God forgives. Yeah. Coming back around again.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ron Stevens. This is Rock the Boat right here on UCY.tv. I'm your host for the next 2 hours. It is August the 8th. And actually, we got a really beautiful day going today. It's no humidity and nice temperatures, beautiful sun. Haven't seen a plane spraying anything yet today. Actually got some white puffy clouds. It actually looks normal, which is a rarity anymore, but we'll take it. Anyways, I was talking about future cities last night on Revolution Radio and here, and then Chris called in, and we got talking about other things, and I'm just going to back up a little bit and go back to where we were last night, and carry on with Big Brother. It looks like Big Brother is Israel, and that would be very unfortunate for all of us. And they're wiring us up big time, and we're going to be locked down through the wires. And whatever privacy you think you got today, you can pretty much kiss that goodbye in the future. And I wouldn't be surprised in the future if you actually have a telescreen in your little box apartment by the light rail transit system that is going to tell you when to exercise, or when to go to the meeting, or whatever. Oh, I stand corrected. It's not the 8th, it's the 7th. So I just gained a day, I guess. Hot damn. But anyways, the this future city stuff, this is bad news. I started reading this last night, and I'm not a big fan of anything that has common written in it, or Green Party, or any of that kind of stuff. But it's a story about it's a story about Scotland, and they always go after these smaller countries first to get their stuff in. Be it in. I mean, they do a lot of this planning over in Africa and stuff, and these small little towns, these small little countries, small cities, where they buggered the people over large, and then they come in to save them again, which is what they always do. And So this thing in Glasgow, Scotland, it's basically a total lockdown of the people. Now I don't live anywhere we've got CCT scanners, and I don't think I would live anywhere that have these damn scanners. I think I would have a very difficult time with walking down the street and see these CCTV cameras all over the place. I don't think I would be able to deal with that very well. I'd probably get out a slingshot and take the eye out of the camera. You ain't got no reason, and you got no authority to be tracking what I'm doing. None. Oh, but it's for your safety. It's for your safety. That's the most misused word out there right now, safety. It's all about your safety. It ain't got nothing to do with your safety. First of all, I don't give a damn about you. So it is obviously not about your safety. If they give a damn about you, they wouldn't be sending the young people to wars that ought not to be fought. And they'd be looking after the poor and the disabled and so on and so forth. They really don't give a damn about you. Never did, never will. So for them to say they're putting up cameras for your safety, well, that's an outright lie. Anyways, it turns out this outfit is called NICE. Nice Systems. Nice Systems. Isn't that a nice system? No, it's not a nice system. Apparently, it was a group of high-level Israeli army security people that put this damn thing together. And, you know, that ain't going to be nice. They use these terms. I don't know when people are going to get used to these terms and understand what the terms mean. Smart. Smart cars. Smart bread. Smart cities. And stupid people. Because it takes stupid people to get sucked into all this stuff. We're getting a nice system in our city. It's for our safety. No, it's not. This is a boot of tyranny coming down on your neck. And we can't let this continue. And this is not exactly the article. Oh, I know where I can find it. This gives a better deal on it. I think I stuck it up on my Facebook, this one particular one that I'm looking for that explains who's involved in this. Let's see if I can dig this up here. And, you know, if you live in America, just Google Future Cities USA or America. Same thing Australia, same thing Britain. And, yeah, is that the... Is this the one I want here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But anyways, it's, what it says here on there is that the SMART system was established by 7 ex-Israeli military intelligence officers who served in Unit 8200, a controversial top-secret intelligence gathering section of the Israeli army. Does that sound nice? Does that sound like a nice system to you? This is a total lockdown. Now, we put in, and I don't, you know, wherever you live, just Google it in under future cities. And we have future cities of Canada here. And cities of the future list includes many in Canada. This is from 2013. Canada is welcoming destination for foreign investors according to the annual Cities of the Future list published by FDI Magazine. Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary are among the top 10 overall North American cities of the future. So 2016, we have World Future Cities Summit tickets. Let's see, where's that? Things to do in Toronto conference. The Canada 2030 project, research and thinking about Canada's future. It includes gatherings in several Canadian overseas cities, from Vancouver to Halifax to Europe and Asia. And this website is dedicated to sharing that. How cities you've never heard of will shape the future. This is from opencanada.org. How cities you've never heard will shape the future with support of the Canadian government. We are honing in on the correlates of city. Okay, now let's look at this. This is from February of 2016. Now, all of this stuff about Israel, you know, I've heard things like, you know, America is Israel's bitch, and so on and so forth. Our prime ministers here in Canada, they like to wear the little Israeli beanie, and like to go over and kiss the wall or whatever. And this is not good. Because what came out of the world wars? The United Nations and Israel. What do they want? World government. So Israel started off as a pretty small place, and they basically run the Palestinians off their land. And that's been ugly. That has been ugly, ugly, ugly. And basically, you put Israel in charge of your nice system in your future city. Well, just think of Palestine. And they're doing the same thing they did with Palestine. If you think about it, they got that cut up in little chunks till people got to go around here. They can't go there. They can't go here. It's the same thing they're doing here with the rewilding programs, cutting corridors so that you can't get from here to there. You can't be in that corridor. They're pushing you, just like they did the Palestinians. They're pushing them off the land. But anyways, this is opencanada.org. How cities you've never heard of will shape the future. The future of global security, Israeli security, and development will be determined by our cities, yet understanding their fragility is an ongoing challenge. And this is by Robert Mugga, February 18, 2016. The world is urbanizing at breakneck speed, but not all regions are moving at the same speed. Most population growth today and tomorrow will occur in the sprawling cities and the slums of Africa and Asia. Just 3 countries, China, India, and Nigeria, will account for 40% of the global growth over the next decade. Meanwhile, many cities in North America and Western Europe are actually shrinking. The pace of this urban revolution is mesmerizing. Just 3% of the world's population lived in cities in the early 1800s as compared to over 50% today. Yet future urbanization will take place not only in megacities but in small and medium-sized cities of the global south. There are tremendous opportunities in these fast-growing settings, but also unsettling risks. Some cities are especially susceptible to insecurity. Oh my God, what do we need? We feel insecure. Well, you need the NICE system from the Israeli military. All cities are fragile, it says. The intensity of their fragility, however, it varies considerably across time and space. Some cities, Aleppo, Caracas, Kabul, and Mogadishu, are affected by acute fragility and are close to collapse. Others, Baltimore, Dakar, and San Salvador, are also at risk, albeit at lesser degree. Even cities like Amsterdam, London, New York, Paris, and Tokyo are not immune. Fragility occurs when city authorities are unable or unwilling to deliver basic services to citizens. It is triggered by a rupture of social contract when citizens lose confidence in the legitimacy of municipal institutions. So what tips over? The intensity of fragility is conditioned by an accumulation of risks, and some risks, the pace of urbanization, income and social inequality, youth unemployment, homicidal and criminal violence, poor access to key services, and exposure to climate threats, of course, are more serious than others. Which cities are most fragile? This straightforward question is surprisingly hard to answer. Part of the problem is that there is no agreed definition of what constitutes a city. Where does a city like Beijing or Toronto begin or end? More fundamentally, there is shocking paucity of data on the vast majority of world cities. While there are dozens of think tanks and private firms that claim to gather data on cities, their geographic coverage is surprisingly thin. Today's debate on cities is limited to the world's 30-odd megacities and the 600 cities driving international economic growth. They've expanded with dizzying speed. These cities constitute constitute a new layer of global governance. Yet there is virtually no discussion about what is happening to the other roughly 3,400 cities with over 100,000 residents, and there is a veritable silence about the other 50,000 cities and urban localities around the world. This is worrying because it is cities whose names you've never heard of that will shape the future. In order to start filling some of these knowledge gaps, the IGRAP Institute teamed up with the United Nations University, the Global World Economic Forum, SecDev, and the World Bank are going to help us out, I guess, with support from the Canadian government. We're honing in on the correlates of city fragility. We first focused on isolating the drivers or risks that make some cities more fragile than others. Next, we started mapping out the geography of urban fragility, consulting with dozens of specialists and scouring over 100 databases to answer some rudimentary questions. One of our output data is visualization. The Fragile Cities Data Visualization is a platform that tracks risks in over 2,100 cities with populations of 250,000 or more. It includes a fragility scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being low risk and fragility and 5 representing high risk. The scale is based on 10 indicators that are statistically associated with instability. The idea is to provide mayors, planners, business people, and civil groups with access to and analyze data on ways in which urban fragility is distributed in upper, middle, and lower income settings. The early findings are instructive. First of all, city fragility does not appear to be restricted to poor developing countries. There are, of course, clusters of chronically fragile cities in sub-Saharan Africa and Central South and Southeast Asia, especially in Afghanistan. Really? You mean where you bomb the snot out of everything? Bangladesh and Pakistan, as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo, Nigeria, and South Africa. The data, yada, yada, yada. Second, fragile cities are not confined to countries racked by armed conflict. There were roughly 40 war-affected and 33 fragile cities in 2015. There is little doubt that cities in countries such as Iraq, South Sudan, and Syria are especially at risk of instability. Well, yeah, because you bomb the snot out of them in order to make them unstable. But what the hell, eh? I guess there was terrorists running the things. So you went in and you demonocratized the damn things. But cities in these countries are not the only ones at high risk. In fact, there were twice as many risk cities outside the war zones. What is more, there were almost 5 times more fragile cities outside of the so-called fragile states. Third, it is not necessarily the largest cities that are most susceptible. Rather, it is smaller and medium-sized cities that are at most risk. Why? Because we're telling you they are. That's why. And you're at risk. And have you ever heard of NICE? The NICE folks at the Israeli military worked that out for us. So because we care about your safety and we care about the fragility of your community. That's me hammering on about that. Let's see here. Fourth, the fastest growing cities appear to be especially vulnerable to fragility. Most cities around the world are growing at between 0 and 3%. The data visualization detects 87 cities, most of in the Rust Belt of, the data visualized detects 87 cities, most of in the Rust Belt of the United States and the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Russia, and the Ukraine, and parts of China that are shrinking in size. Why are they shrinking in size? Because you took all our industrial base away from us. That's why they're shrinking. We don't manufacture anything. And the cities can't sustain. I mean, it doesn't take an Einstein to figure this out. So you caused the problem, then you're going to come in and fix the problem. Anyways, yet the more at-risk cities are those that are growing at a pace of 4% or more. The risks are especially prominent in sub-Saharan Africa, Middle East, and Southeast Asia, where the vast majority of future city population is projected. Fifth, the most violent cities in the world are not where you think they are. Well, some research organization ranks cities according to homicide. Their assessments are often heavily biased due to a variation in reporting rates. The Fragile Cities data visualization tracks both homicide and reported incidents of violence from a review of over 1,000 media outlets. While homicide is highly clustered in Latin America and the Caribbean cities, reported violence is more widely distributed in North and Central American, Sub-Saharan Africa, Middle Eastern, and South Asian urban centers. The good news, there's some good news in this? Wonderful. The good news for Canadians is that the country's largest cities are comparatively safe and livable. Every single one of the 18 cities with 250,000 more residents, including Greater Toronto Area, scored 3 or lower on these cities' fragility scale. What is more, 2 of the 3 least fragile cities in Canada, Saskatoon and Windsor, Saskatoon's in the middle of nowhere, and Windsor's been gutted out because you shut down the auto industry, but who cares? None of this comes as a surprise to locals. After all, Canadian cities are routinely listed as among the most livable in the world, with Vancouver, Calgary, and Toronto often included in the top 5. Globally, the future of global security and development will be determined in cities. Yet we know alarmingly little about what's going on in them. This is especially worrying given the focus of the freshly minted Sustainable Development Goals on making cities more inclusive, safe, and reliant. And more pride parades. And more pedophilia. Will, I guess, make our cities even better. The fragile cities include, where am I at here? The Fragile Cities data visualization offers an important new layer of understanding, but it also has major gaps. While it includes basic demographic information on all cities registering more than 250,000 people, it still lacks sufficient data to render a fragility score for almost half of them. Our team is working hard to plug these data holes, but it's not easy. The other good news is that the city fragility is not permanent. There are remarkable examples of once dangerous cities turning things around. How do they do this? They start with enlightened leadership, especially successive mayors that make a plan and stick to it. The best cases involve evidence-based and targeted approaches to mitigating risks. Cities that purportedly build inclusive public spaces, support predictable transport, invest in hotspot policing, create meaningful opportunities for young people, and plan carefully to mitigate natural disasters are the most likely to shift from fragility to reliance. In other words, if your city mayor has been completely hypnotized into believing these UN globalist plans and actually thinks that this is a good idea, then you have the opportunity to become a less fragile city. The problem is the mayors are the idiots. The mayors are the useful idiots. The mayors don't have a clue what they're up to because of the way it's been reset, so that the CAOs, the chief administrative officers, or the city managers are the ones who are trained in the implementation of these globalist dream plans. They're the ones that set the city and the town council agendas. The council's just a bunch of monkeys being directed by someone that was never elected. And the council does the bidding of the city manager or the CAOs, who are all specifically trained in moving the global to local programs into your towns and cities. And that has got to stop. We got to yank these suckers out of there. They got to get moved out. We got to change some stuff up here fast. People have got to get their act together. You know, we have some friends up here this weekend, and Dan's girlfriend is from Brazil, and I was bugging her this morning. I said, why don't you come on do the show with me, and we'll just have some fun, and we'll pretend that you're the Olympic commentator from Brazil, and we'll do a show. And, she said, I don't like the Olympics. I go, really? She goes, yeah, because of what they do to the people. They just push them out of the way so they can have their show. And this is the sad part, because it's true. Because they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about the people. They give a damn about their propaganda. They give a damn about getting their programs in place. They give a damn about locking you down. They give a damn about controlling how much water, how much food, where you live, what you speak, what you don't speak. This is what they care about. So she most definitely didn't want to pretend to be a commentator at the Olympics. Now, I was absolutely astounded when we were talking this morning in Sao Paulo. I had no clue. Now, I know Brazil has a population around 250 million people or something, but I had no clue there was a city, Sao Paulo, like 80 million freaking people jammed into one city. And what they're doing here is they're regionalizing everything here, okay? I mean, the city of Toronto is only around 2 million people or something. So they expand this out and make it the Greater Toronto area, which is, 5+ million people. But, it boggles the mind that Sao Paulo is almost, well, if you take Sao Paulo and I suppose Rio, they basically, let's see, if you take Rio and Sao Paulo, I think Rio's around 9 million or something, and Sao Paulo 18 million, or 80 million, 80 million. You basically got 3 times, in 2 cities in Brazil, you basically got 3 times the population of Canada, which is the second biggest landmass country on the frickin' planet. And we're allowing these jackasses from the UN and Israel to run our lives. we really need to give our heads a shake. And that goes to my friends in America, and that goes for my friends in Australia as well. Even America, with a population 315, 19 million people, whatever it is by no means overpopulated. Australia has, I think it is, next to Canada, I think Australia has less people per square kilometer than anywhere on the frickin' planet. So here we have these countries in the West that are super wealthy in natural resources. The populations are small by comparison. Yet we've shipped out all our manufacturing. We don't make anything here now. And we're being led around by the nose by this propaganda coming out of the United Nations, which cares about your security, apparently, even though they killed a couple of 100 million people in order to get the UN and Israel established. Didn't seem to care about that too much. I never heard anybody showing any, or saw anybody showing any remorse over the death trails that these people leave in order to get what they want. And we can't let them have it. We need to kick their asses the hell out of here. I mean now, ASAP, like quick, quick, quick. You know, the American people need to take over the United Nations headquarters, vacate that building, and then use it for veterans' residence. Use it for whatever. But you got to get it out of there. You got to get the Trilateral Commission the hell out of there. You got to get the CFR the hell out of there. Now you get rid of those 3 units, and America can start changing itself back to where it's supposed to be, where the idea of freedom and liberty can start to resurface. As long as those 3 outfits are there, you're doomed. You're going down the sewer hole. And you're going to continue to be Israel's bitch. You know, they're bringing in the lockdown. And it's going to be an electronic lockdown. It's going to be an environmental lockdown. And it's already well underway, shoving people off the lands. Through regulations and sustainable development goals and all of this kind of stuff. Who better knows how to look after the resources and the land but the people that live on the land? And that's who has rightful ownership of those lands. Not some bunch of clowns sitting in tall offices, scooting around the world in their jets or their yachts, going to their mega $1 million locations. I mean, some of these people got houses or estates all over the frickin' planet. Meanwhile, on your own streets, there's all kinds of homeless and underfed and underhoused. But these people, these rich men, tell you that they care about you. If that don't make you throw up, I don't know what will. This is all complete garbage. And we got to stop it. Your enemy, I've been saying this for so many years, okay, it's making me ill anymore. Your enemy is sitting in your frickin' town hall. It's not like you got to go looking for them. They go to the same frickin' place every day. But then they pick these idiot mayors and they send them to China and they send them to India and they send them to these conferences because they're being used as the useful idiots. What does the local mayor of, I don't know, pick a place, Cincinnati, Toronto, know about the economics of China? What do they know about any economics? They don't know jack shit. And they stroke their egos and they make them feel important. And then before you know it, they're implementing the agendas they shouldn't be going anywhere near. Then they come home and they feel important. What they don't understand is that the CAOs and that already know what's going on. They're waiting for this dumbass puppet mayor to come home. Stroke him again. Oh, I got a plan. This is what we should do. And the mayor just gets sucked right into this. The city manager, the CAO, that's a full-time job. These counselors, in most cases, is not a full-time job. So who's looking after the hen house? The city managers and the CAOs. Who sets the agenda? The city managers and the CAOs. Who's not elected? The CAOs and city managers. And that's who's in charge of this nonsense that's going on. And that has got to stop. I don't know. I'm going to go look at this here. There was a link to it, but it didn't pop up. It came up with nothing. So, come here. Oh, they're not, come here. Let's see if we can find something on this. Let's see here. Because I never heard of this institute before. Let's see if we can't dig it out, because it collaborated with the United Nations, which obviously can't be a good thing. That Iga Rape Institute. I never heard of it. Oh, it's a Brazilian-based think tank and do tank that focuses on emerging security and development issues. Well, let's go look at this here first. Okay, and the WHO is involved in this thing as well, which I never heard details. Safer, they're hooked up with this thing called Safer World. I'm going to go take a quick look at this thing. A Brazilian think and do tank that focuses on emerging security and development issues. The Institute's stated approach emphasizes research, informed debate, and the development of people-centered, tailor-made solutions. The views of the Iga Rape staff have been cited and referenced in news stories in Brazilian and international press in connection with urban violence and policing internationally, and Brazil in particular. The Institute is headquartered in Rio, Brazil, with personnel in Sao Paulo, Brasilia, Bogota, and Mexico City. The Institute currently has 5 main program focuses on citizen security, cybersecurity, global and national drug policy, international cooperation, and assistance in sustainable development. It has been involved in a number of innovative projects such as the interactive visual history of the global arms trade and using smartphones to increase police accountability. It was formed in 2011 as an independent, nonpartisan think and do tank in Brazil. The Institute is devoted to raising attention to challenges of violence and insecurity across Brazil, Latin America. It works with other Brazilian organizations, as well as international organizations such as the United Nations and the Inter-American Development Bank to encourage changes in government policy. The Institute also serves as Secretariat of Global Commission on Drug Policy, which includes former presidents, Fernando Henrique Cardoza and Caesar, okay, whatever, as well as leaders such as Kofi Annan, Richard Branson, Paul Volcker, and so on. The Institute also coordinates a network of young Brazilian leaders to promote changes in national drug policy. The Institute is a partner of the Drug Policy Alliance and Google Ideas. The Institute has been awarded several international prizes for its use of new technology to prevent violence and promote transparency. In 2014, the Institute was one of 2 Latin American organizations to win the New Digital Age grants from Google Executive Chairman Eric Schmidt. Also in 2014, the Institute was singled out for a Networked Society Award promoted by Ericsson and a Google Impacts Award for its work on new technology and child protection. In 2012, the Institute received a Favorite Website Award. The Institute Executive Director, Iona Saboa, the Calvahor, I can't pronounce these damn names, and its research director, Robert Muga, which is who wrote the article that I just finished reading, spoke at the TED Global in 2014 on fragile cities. And if anybody's listening to these stupid TED Talks, and you think TED Talks is a good thing, you best give your head a shake. Okay? They bring these people in who are the globalists, who don't give a sweet bejesus about you, who are just pushing the technocrat agenda, the lockdown agenda, the digital lockdown agenda. Ted's got to talk on everything, and none of it is positive for the general public. And Lessons for Advocacy on Campaigning, also in 2014, Robert Muga delivered a keynote talk on cyber cartels at the Web Summit. The Institute's research on cities and citizen security is also widely recognized. So it's all into this sustainable development and all this other crap. Let's see. What's that thing called? See if we can hook that together. So all of our cities have become possible targets for terrorists, insecure places, and our cities need these people's help. The last thing that we need is their help. The very last thing we need is their help. We need to get away from these people. We need to push these people away from us. Yeah, okay, so what are these guys, the latest from iGrape, Childhood Insecurity, a study on violence perception by children and teenagers, from Rio, urban governance in fragile cities, the planet is urbanizing at a rapid pace. This is all the same garbage. This is all, here we have, this is about security. So CBS News, July 22nd, Brazil arrests terrorist suspects ahead of the Rio Olympics. Reuters, July 22nd, Brazil hold terrorist suspects seek leads about possible Olympic threat. Bloomberg, July 20, the Rio has been getting safer since way before the Olympics. So you have these outside entities who messed up your country in the first frickin' place, who made it unsafe, who expanded the poor areas, who removed your ability to deal with your own nation. So they tear it down, they mess it up, then they come in and are going to save you from the mess they made. And then they're going to make a new mess. Cybersecurity, new thinking on digital protest and open government. This is all going on in the background. Most people in most countries don't know anything about any of this stuff. They're trying to keep the bills paid so they can keep a roof over their head at the end of the month. So here in Canada, we go back here to the, where am I at here? Open Canada, future cities. Future cities. Cities are the key to Canada's future. Let's unlock it. Globe and Mail. Now, all of these newspapers, all of the media is involved in this crap. The same media that promoted climate change, the same media that promoted the need for renewable energy, the same, it just continues on. The media is up to their ass in this stuff. So never buy their media. Okay, so this is bringing us along here. Now, this is January the 21st, 2016. Cities are the key to Canada's future. Let's unlock them, which really means let's lock them down, because it's always backwards. In a January address to the World Economic Forum, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau noted that he wants Canada and Canadians to be known as much for our resourcefulness as for our resources. Well, we agree. And this is, I guess who's agreeing here is Jan De Silva, CEO of the Toronto Region Board of Trade, and Adam Legge is CEO of the Calgary Chamber of Commerce. The cities. Our natural resources are important. They will continue to be a cornerstone of our economy, but resourcefulness, talent, and diversity are natural resources too, and equally critical to our growth and success. Most of these resources reside in our biggest cities, which are home to 49% of our population and generates 52% of our domestic product. The problem with this country is that we came here and took on the role of hewers of wood and drawers of water way back when, and we've never stepped out of that role. You know, since I was a very young guy, I've always irritated me that this great land with basically nobody living in it, just dig our resources out and send them somewhere else. We cut our trees down, send them somewhere else. We catch our fish and send them somewhere else. We are no different here, really, than any third world country, except we don't live as third worlders yet. And we just get raped for our resources. So what happens here is somebody will find some resources they want. We're going to ship them out of the country. It may create some jobs, but because we don't finish any of our resources into a finished product, we lose. But that's where they've got this particular plantation set up. Now, I know that probably rubs some Canadians the wrong way, but tough. That's just the way it is. So what's the plan here in the 21st century? It's cities and city regions that will be the primary drivers of the global and Canadian economies. While competition and growth was once country versus country or corporation versus corporation, in today's globally interconnected economy, it's city versus city. We're getting down to the ground now, folks. We're getting down to the ground. The fight's going to get local. You're going to have the cities fighting against each other now. We're not having country against country. We're having cities against cities. So now we're going to have the cities competing against the cities. Who's going to lose? Well, the people are going to lose, just like the people have always lost. Around the world, cities are taking action on the opportunities globalization presents. London, New York, Hong Kong, and Dubai are global renowned centers of innovation, migration, culture, wealth, and commerce. They are global actors competing for investment, talent, global events, and trade opportunities. In many respects, cities are like businesses. They need to compete, prosper, and grow, or risk getting disrupted by others with more to offer, talent, and investors. We must make sure our largest metros flourish to win, a case increasingly being made by academics and global think tanks. Well, it's the same crap. You know, when they started this nonsense of renewable energy, you know, we've got to get more renewable energy in the next guy or we'll be left behind. It's a global scrap here. Who's going to be more sustainable than the other? Who's going to have more renewable? If we do this, we could be number one. And this same line is played, by the way, in all the countries. And then the media forks this stuff over to the people, and the people get mesmerized by it, get sucked in by it, and they think that by doing what they're told, that they'll rise above. Well, it hadn't happened yet. It ain't going to happen. You're being conned. I mean, who would know better than these guys? The Global Cities Initiative is a joint project of the Brookings Institute, or the Brookings Institution, and J.P. Morgan Chase. Is helping metropolitan areas leverage their assets to grow their economies, create jobs, and strengthen international connections and competitiveness. Well, I just really, now that I know that J.P. Morgan Chase and Brookings Institution is involved in it, I feel much more comfortable. The project, comprising top U.S. cities and several international counterparts, including Tirana, encourages cities to reorient their economies toward greater engagement in world markets. It helps metropolitan leaders better leverage their global assets by unveiling their economic starting points on key indicators such as exports, foreign direct investment, and advanced manufacturing. There's also the goal of Canada's largest chambers of commerce, who are also UN minions and Israeli ass-kissers, who are working together to advocate on behalf of our cities to government and business on issues including talent, trade, competitiveness, and strategic economic infrastructure such as airports. This week, the Chambers and Canadian Municipal Economic Development leaders are meeting in Toronto to learn from the Global Cities Initiative. They're going to learn from the Global Cities Initiative. They will be finding what works in leading global cities and city regions to create new opportunities to compete globally. In many respects, Canada's largest cities are where our greatest challenge and opportunities lie. Unfortunately, we have been slower to recognize the importance of our largest city and take the necessary steps to compete on the global stage. Canadian cities should no longer be content to sit on the sidelines. Hell no. Canadians should not be content to allow their economy to remain stuck in neutral. Governments are acting, and so must our business communities. In Vancouver, Mayor Gregor Robertson has shown a deep interest in commitment to cementing trade ties with Asian cities. In Calgary, Mayor Nasid Nasji, which just happens to be a freaking Muslim, and I lived in Calgary. I worked in Calgary as a reporter as a young guy. How in the hell does a city like Calgary, where happy cowboys, end up with a Muslim for a mayor? Oh, because we want to be a global city. We want to be a diversified city. Anyways, the mayor of Calgary is working to create access to international markets for natural resources and to promote economic diversification. Mayor Don Iveson has issued a call to action to position Edmonton as a leader in the development, commercialization, and distribution of health innovation. Edmonton is an oil town. I lived in Edmonton. Edmonton is like where the working guys go out of, and Calgary is like where the white-collar boys hang out. But to position Edmonton as a leader in the development, commercialization, and distribution of health innovation. Duh. The mayors of Montreal and Toronto are cooperating to attract international investment in technology, biotechnology, and aerospace. These are positive steps, but more must be done. While Ottawa is developing strong trade relations and significant trade agreements, businesses are underperforming on trade. Today, just 5% of Canadian businesses that can export are doing so. We need to encourage more to go global. In response to Global Citizens Initiative, the Toronto Region Board of Trade launched the Trade Accelerator Program, the TAP-GTA, to help more businesses access global markets. There is now interest to take the program national. Business must activate. If the 21st century is to be the age of cities, then Canada's cities must be present. In many respects, it is Canada's time. We have all the potential and natural resourcefulness to succeed. We just need the initiative to get there. Now, you can go to America, you can go to Australia, you can go to Britain, you can go to any of these countries, and you're going to read the same exact same garbage. Just like renewable energy was sprung upon us, just like climate change, global warming was sprung upon us, right? We need to try to be at the top. Well, there is no top. There's only a bottom. Our countries have been gutted out. We produce nothing. We can't feed ourselves. We've become children being looked after by the globalists. And they say in here somewhere, the cities are like business. Well, the cities are business because municipalities are business and cities are municipalities. They're created by the state or the province. And they do the bidding of the state or the province, because the state or the province sits above what they created. But they are a business because it even says in the federal papers that the federal government doesn't recognize municipalities as government. It says that. The federal government does not recognize municipalities as government bodies. They look at them more as businesses, a type of business, and that's all they are. But then that's all our country is too. Because we live in the legal system, and the legal system is commercial. So it's all business. So some people are going to get extremely, extremely wealthy, and some people are going to get extremely poor. This is not about an equal distribution of resources. This is about the top stealing from the bottom down. And we need to kick these sons of bitches out of our countries. You, where you live, need to be responsible for your area, your neighborhood, because that's where you live. So you're the ones that are responsible wherever it is you live for your electricity production, your water resources, and your food. Because if you can't control, if you don't control your electricity, your water, and your food, then you control nothing in your life. While they're the experts, they know better what's better for us. Like Mr. Nestle there, he said, well, humans really don't have a right to water, but they signed a whole bunch of contracts and stuff with the United Nations and the globalists, so they're going to pull the water out and put in little plastic bottles and make sure we all get enough water. That's so sad, man. Take Nestle and kick them the hell out of you wherever. If they're in your neck of the woods, go give them the boot and get them the hell out of the water. It ain't their water. Your mayor, your CAO, he doesn't have the right to sell your water to some international company that doesn't want to give you any water. And the water you do get, you got to buy from them. They took your water and then sold it back to you. Duh. You know, go find Mr. Nestle and take one of his little water bottles and shove it up where the sun don't shine. There, sit on that a while, asshole. We got to start getting aggressive, people. Now, I'm talking about gunfighting aggressive, but we got to get aggressive because we're getting run over. It's time we get our act together. It's time we grow up. It's time we just stop allowing this garbage. So where did I see this? Future Cities Group. Future Cities Strategy. This is from Evergreen. This should be good. Take a boo at this for a second. Future Cities Strategy, our stories. Toronto Skyline. Let's see what we got here. Evergreen Brickworks. The Future City Strategy is a groundbreaking collaboration that brings together Ryerson University and University of Toronto, two of Canada's leading academic institutions, to carry out cutting-edge research on urban challenges and link them with on-the-ground testing and action through Evergreen, Canada's preeminent not-for-profit Creating Green, Healthy Cities. The goal of this collaboration is to build a powerful cluster of urban knowledge and action that will help cities across Ontario tackle some of the most pressing challenges. The combination of world-leading data plus integrated learning, innovative research, and on-the-ground prototyping will give Ontario a cluster unlike any in the entire world. Issues that Future Cities partners will focus on include housing affordability, urban fiscal health, governance challenges, standardized indicators for informed investment in city management, international standards, development for cities, regional growth planning, transportation and public transit, climate change and extreme weather infrastructure, resilience. The Future Cities strategy is supported by the Government of Ontario. The four partners in the collaboration and their particular areas are the Ryerson City Building Institute, and this is at Ryerson University. So they've started up this thing, the Ryerson City Building Institute, known as the Ryerson CBI. The Ryerson City Building Institute is a nonpartisan center focused on urban issues relevant to city regions nationally and globally. Multidisciplinary in approach, it leverages the expertise of Ryerson programs and brings together diverse perspectives to address critical urban problems. The Institute delivers on its mandate through integrated teaching, cutting-edge research, sharing new insights and best practices, and improving public policy literacy. We also have the Institute for Municipal Finance and Governance, the IMFG, at the University of Toronto. Established in 2004, the IMFG is the only organization in Canada that focuses on the fiscal health and governance challenges facing large cities and city regions across Ontario and beyond. The Institute's mandate is to conduct interdependent and independent research, spark and inform public debate, provide training, and engage the academic and policy communities around important issues of municipal finance and government. IMFG has worked closely with the Ontario ministries to convene roundtables on stakeholders on subjects such as municipal budgeting and development charges. We also have the Global Cities Indicator Facility at the University of Toronto, established in 2008. The GCIF is now the world's largest data platform for cities and hosts a network of 255 cities across 82 countries. The GCIF provides a globally standardized system for data collection with an improved ISO international standard that allows for comparative knowledge and learning across cities globally. The GCIF is leading global efforts on the development of a series of international standards of indicators for resilience, sustainability, smart cities that help guide policy development and city planning. The GCIF is part of the Global Cities Institute, which convenes collaborative cross-disciplinary research that builds on the GCIF metrics and bridges the fields of urban governance, design, technology, and economy. Evergreen is a national not-for-profit focused on creating green, sustainable cities. Since 1990, Evergreen has engaged over 1 million Canadians in the process of creating greener, more sustainable cities. Evergreen works with diverse partners from all sectors to build, support, test, and scale bold new ideas to solve pressing urban issues that bridge the natural and built environments. Working with the National Network of Communities and institutional partners, Evergreen has helped to transform over 4,000 school grounds into natural learning grounds, engage over 100,000 volunteers in stewarding public green space, and create collaborative strategies that advance how we plan and build more sustainable cities. Evergreen operates from its home base at the Evergreen Brickworks, an internationally award-winning center for inspiring and leading innovation in green cities, a dynamic social enterprise, and a LEED Platinum campus. This is all going on while we're staring at the Olympics, while we're yammering on about, in this case right now, because it's election time south of the border here, all this mucky garbage stuff about, Clinton and Trump, and, and I just love this, some star comes up and says, we got to stop this Hillary Clinton broad. And everybody cheers, yay! And then we got the other celebrity on the other side, and they go, yay! Meanwhile, all of this stuff is going on right in front of your faces or behind your faces, and nobody seems to see it because it's not brought forward very often. Now we have let's see, when is this thing going to take place here? I thought I'd seen something here in October. We're supposed to have a big summit here with the Real Future Summit, June 9th to 10th, 2016. So I missed that. I think there's another one somewhere, big one, in October of this year. I can track that again. Latest issue, August the 1st, 2016, existing farm structures used for internet techno-farming, why rural connections are needed. Pulse is a weekly news bulletin to keep people aware of smart community development leaders and striving to create smart communities worldwide to control costs, expand services, and benefit a new $1 trillion market. Pulse's terse executive style links take you to trending information on applications, infrastructure, and thought leadership. So keep your pulse. Let's see, I can't even. Oh, here we go. Eventually, what they want to do is they want to run the farmers. We got a big program going here. I'm sure it's going in the States and Australia and everywhere else. The rural areas are ramping up the high-speed internet, and so I don't exactly know what techno farming is. I'm going to go find out, though. The Current, CBC Radio. This is their story, and this is April the 5th, 2016. The Current. The bygone era of collecting eggs in a pail by hand are long past for farmers. Today, as agriculture has become increasingly mechanized, the future of farming is high-tech. In fact, last year, the agriculture industry reached a new milestone as the world's first robotic farms open in Japan. Apart from staff of about 25 people who will plant seeds, robots will do most of the jobs required to keep the farm running. The company, Spread, based in Kyoto, Japan, plans on farming lettuce and claims their system will harvest 30,000 heads of lettuce every day. And you don't have to milk your cows anymore. Cows that milk themselves. Farmers turn to high tech for help. And let's see, inside the world of robotic farms, to go a closer look at how robotic farming is paving the way for farmers and farm life. Let's see, where cows get in line for the robots. Automation in farming has become commonplace for repetitive tasks such as irrigation and packaging, and farmers say it's only a matter of time before harvesting produce will be added to this list. In Canada, automation is popular in the dairy sector. Traditionally, farmers would have to physically connect an automated milking machine to the cow, and then the machine does the rest. But the robotic milking machines that Rick Shantz and his family use on their Ontario farm don't need a person to lift a finger or even be in the barn. There are always dirty jobs for the kids to do on the farm, whether the cows get milked by themselves or not. You still need a good work ethic. And we got some pictures of the cows being milked by robots and so on and so forth. So this is just some more of this nonsense. So eventually, there won't be very many people out in the rural areas because you're not going to need anybody. You're going to have robotic machinery. You're going to have robotic planting machines. You got robotic cow milkers. And everybody eventually, except those few needed out in the countryside, they're going to live in the cities. And, they're already working on building the buildings where they're growing the food in the apartment building. Not real food, of course. It looks like food. We got robotic chefs here. So you're just going to be stuck in the city doing whatever they give you to amuse yourself with. And but all of these news sources are about spreading the propaganda, right? They're not about news. They've never been about news. They're propagandized. Okay, what do we got here? Smart 150. What's that? Oh, this could be interesting. This is iCanada Alliance, and this is the Future City outfit again. 150 years of Canada, time to refresh our national dream. From railroads to light roads today, glass fiber, wave. What the hell does it say? From railroads to light roads today, glass fibers weave communication webs across continents. They transform dreams into substance and frail communities, rural and urban, large and small, to exemplary idea-based centers. Canada is now creating a model that foreshadows a new world community. The iCanada 150 program goal is to start 150 smart communities by the end of 2017, or the 105th anniversary of Canada. In doing so, we will deliver a strong and sustainable triple bottom line of economic, social, environmental performance, and we will create new hope and economic opportunities for all Canadians. We realize that this is a difficult goal, but hey, we're so full of crap anyways, what's it matter? But it is worthy of the nation that the that invented communication aids in the first place. First telephone, first phone company, first long-distance phone call, first domestic communication satellite, first digital phone switches, all from Canada. Canada be the model of the world's first intelligent nation, just as we were for the first communications nation. When we invite you to join us as we put in place the programs that will jumpstart a legion of smart communities across Canada, please reply to Join Smart 150. Anyways, this is the kind of garbage that's been going on here for basically ever. And let's see who we got here. But I really encourage people to look up this future cities. I don't care what country you're living in, look it up. And try and see if you can't link nice, what's that called, nice security or whatever it is out of Israel. See if you can't link that together because it's important that people understand nice systems. You know, let me just try this real quick here. Nice systems and just bear with me a second, Chris. I was going to look this up. Nice systems and excuse me and oh my goodness, in future cities. See if we can hook these two together here. And okay, nice cities, nice safe city solutions deployed in Glasgow. Glasgow. Let's see. Nice system security solution, enhanced community safety in contact to be acquired by Nice Systems. Let's see. Nice city. That's in Glasgow again. Glasgow to making of a smart city. Already underway. Smart A running our police and cities. Increasing our cities and streets are using artificial intelligence to point. Let's see, for Smart City, where the Israeli security firm Nice Systems are running the system being installed for future cities demonstration initiative. Let's just go take a quick boo at this. So if you're still a fan of Israel, you better give your head a shake. Already underway, Smart AI running our police and cities. This is 21st Century Wire. Increasingly, our cities and streets are using artificial intelligence. However, CCC or CCTV closed circuit television, not quite what is operating on our streets today. What we have is a IPTV, an Internet Protocol television network that can relay images to analytical software that uses algorithms to determine pre-crime area in real time. Currently, this AI looks at areas that may be targeted for crimes such as burglaries or joyriding, with the predicted hotspot information being sent direct to law enforcement smartphones in the field. This analytical software is being used in Glasgow, hailed as Britain's first smart city, where the Israeli security firm Nice Systems are running the CCTV IPTV network, analyzing data from the 442 fixed HD surveillance cameras and 30 mobile units under a project called Community Safety Glasgow, whose primary objectives are described as delivering Glasgow's more efficient traffic management system, identifying crime in the city, and tracking individuals. Whilst Glasgow City Council team claim they're not currently utilizing the NICE system, facial recognition capabilities, it is there, and it will be used in the future. So basically, you tie your future cities are going to be tied to the Israeli security systems, and all you got to do is look at what Israel's been doing since the state was created, and Britain basically created that. and what's happened to the Palestinian people, and you're going to see your future city. Okay. The police is going to be attached to this, and yeah, I mean, it's this is not good. This is most definitely not good. And coming to a city near you. Let's see. Read more police state news at 21st Century Wire Police State Files. See what pops up here, and then we get Chris on. So we have the Dallas attack, Summer of Uncle Sam. There's a story here, a host of dubious details and contradictory claims that echo past provocateurs and staged events that spark dialectical manipulation. I don't think I'm going to hang around here too long. But anyways, you get the gist of it. I mean, the fact is that they are wiring us down. Okay, you can look at it as kind of like Gulliver when they had Gulliver all tied down there on the beach, right? And that's basically what we're doing. They're tying you down with digital wire. And it ain't going to be good. It is most definitely not going to be good. So we need to stop this ASAP. So look into future cities, look into 2030, look into all that stuff that's coming at us, and look into the fact that your city manager, that's who you really got to focus on, right? The city managers and the CAOs, you really got to focus on them people because they are all agents for the international global governance programs. And your stupid little so-called elected officials just do as they're told. They ain't got a clue, for the most part. God knows I've talked to enough of them. And they really don't have a clue, for the most part. But the fact is, all of this is being done without them telling you what they're doing. They can't do that. They don't have the authority to do that, okay? If you're not fully informed by those you supposedly elected, who are supposedly there to serve you, and in fact they're serving the elite, the globalists, the one-worlders, then they're guilty of treason, they're guilty of fraud, they're guilty of breach of trust, and they must be brought into the light. So, you know, you can forget all the rest of this stuff because you can't get at it. The only place you can get at and make any difference whatsoever is at your local level. Okay? You live there, for crying out loud. You got a telephone connection straight to your city hall. You know where the city hall is. Get in the car and go up to the city hall. Get 100 of you in the car and go up to the city hall. And clue these clowns in that we know I don't even know what that means. You there, Chris?
I'm here, my friend.
I just got a notice from Jules. I have no idea what this means. I re-exferred the phones.
Well, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worrying about it at all.
No, I Skyped you. The phone lines aren't working on UCY right now.
Oh, they're not?
Because I tried to call in as a caller, and they're not working, and that's all that was.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Because I mean, our internet went down here this morning, and you were telling me about Darren Week's show. He had a problem yesterday or whenever.
Well, that was on his end with his cable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what happened here this morning. We lost the internet connection here for quite a while. And don't know why. I called the company, and they said, we don't have any record of you having the internet go down. So I don't know what's going on, but we're on anyway. So,
well, you know,
I got to phone Israel, right? I'm going to phone the nice guys over at Israel.
Right.
And, you know.
On the next Alex Jones, you'll be good to go.
Alex Jones?
Sure, why not? At least you can talk then.
He can help me out?
Oh, I'll work on it.
Would you?
I'll get his people to get in contact with your people.
Alex's people won't talk to me anymore. We had a conversation once. I don't think Alex is going to be talking to me again. And I miss him so.
I know, he's a nice guy.
I thought we were going to connect real good, and I guess he didn't appreciate being outed on his own show, but what are you going to do?
Shelley's got the best intro for that. He uses that on his intro. Shelley, people are familiar with Shelley Lama. He got the best intro. I love the way he does that. He uses Alex Jones in his intro.
Does he?
Shelley, you know.
That's kind of cool.
It is cool. It's very cool. I love that guy.
But, you know, I'm so happy that all of our prime ministers and that wear the little beanie cap and go and kiss the wall. And, you know, I used to take offense, you know, when you say, you know, like, America's Israel's bitch, right? And, well, guess what? America is Israel's bitch. And Israel is going to bitch slap America. And the people and anybody that supports Israel had better give their heads a freaking shake. Because these guys are long-term planners, man. And what they got planned for us isn't going to look a whole lot less different than what they've done to Palestine. And if you want the Israeli army doing your surveillance for your safety,
well, they want us fish in a tank or birds in a cage.
Yeah, you better go buy yourself some hungry dogs, because if you're going to be safe in the future,
if you're going to buy a hungry dog, get yourself some pit bulls. I know I go long and hard on this, but I mean it. I sent you some videos of cool dogs, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a pit bull's the way to go. That's why I said, and I've said this before, I know I've said it on air, and I'm going to repeat it. The reason the OPP didn't use pit bulls for their knockdown, kick-in door raids is because if you had a game pit bull and there was a dog in the house, he'd get distracted. He wouldn't save the officer. He'd go and kill the dog first. And that's why the OPP stopped using them. And then they banned them in Ontario. But on the other side, best family pet you can ever have, and don't mess with them. They're like Superman. You get a game pit bull, I'm telling you, you've got the. Forget your German Shepherds, forget your Rottweilers, your Cane, whatever breed you think is a deadly breed. You get yourself a good pit bull, my friend, and it's almost like having a shotgun in your hand.
You know what I don't like about pit bulls, and don't take this personally.
I will.
I know you will, but don't. I don't find them a very attractive looking animal.
No?
No.
I'll send you some pics.
Yeah, I know. I've seen lots of pit bulls and Rottweilers and whatnot. I just don't find them real attractive. I don't find a Doberman attractive either.
Well, they're goofy looking with a long nose and.
Yeah,
No, what you got to understand about a pit bull is they're a beautiful looking dog.
Well, see, it's in the eyes of the beholder, right?
I'm biased.
Well, yeah, you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then call in and argue with me or debate. But they are the most dedicated to family that I've ever seen in any animal I've ever raised. I've raised a few pit bulls, and I've raised other breeds. And I went straight to pit bulls. I didn't waste my time with Shepherds or Rottweilers or Doberman Pinschers. I threw them out the freaking window, and I'm strictly a pit bull guy now.
Well, yeah, and I will. There's only two dogs that I really like, and one's a shepherd, and the other one I'm really taking with a border collie. They're really intelligent animals, and they're not as rough and ready, but they will stand ground, and it depends. I mean, our dogs, they were trained, then they were super trained, and I wish you would have met with Smokey, man. You would have been really impressed with that animal. But anyways, enough of the doggies.
Smokey.
Right?
Crap.
Well,
Border Collie Smokey.
what?
You took my name. I had a Border Collie called.
Oh, my male shepherd was called Smokey.
Oh yeah. Well, get rid of the shepherd. Get a pit bull. Anyways,
well, my dog, he used to get indigestion every time he ate a pit bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would burp them up. It's kind of embarrassing. Did you know that Nice Systems out of Israel, just before we get on to something else, Nice Systems, this is an overview. You can go to their website, nice.com. Is a company public, revenue $1 to $2 billion, headquarters Ra'anana, Israel, founded 1986. Information technology, no competitors or not known competitors. Nice Systems, I love this. It was started by the super elite Israeli military. Nice Systems makes sure its employees say please and thank you. Enterprises, including financial institutions, this is what it connected, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan Chase, telecommunication equipment companies, and ISPs, Earthlink, use the company's data. So, it's the bankers, the lawyers, the military, what it's always been, basically the axis of evil, who is coming in to take down your city, your country, and you. And it's bloody time, people. I'm glad that Israel wants to, protect us. Not really. But this is where we're going. And,
well, we've always been, Ron.
Well, we've always been to a point. It's just, we did have, I look at freedom I had. I've only been on the planet 132 years, and I look at the freedom I had when I was a kid compared to now, and this is getting bloody ridiculous, right? Like, I'm going to go up to the reserve and get some smokes, and if I get caught with a pack of these smokes now, it's going to cost me, I pay $40 a carton at the reserve. I pay $80-some in town here.
You're getting ripped off.
What do you mean?
I pay $12 a carton at the reserve.
Yeah, but that's the shit they sweep off the floor.
No. You pay $10 for them.
No, I had a tenant who used to.
Well, you're in the wrong part of Ontario. You come over here, I'll show you.
No, I had a tenant who used to go down and
for good cigarettes.
She would buy loose smokes, or
if I get caught,
each bag was a carton, and they were actually pretty good smokes. But comparatively speaking, she was picking them up at the factory, at the native factory, and but they were pretty good smokes, baggy smokes. But the baggy smokes that you would buy up here at the reserve, them fucking things were horrid.
Well, that's
so. Yeah, I know. How cheap is it to make smokes? Because we were paying $10 a carton, and a carton in the store is like $80+, and a carton not in the bag in actual cigarette packages. At the reserve, they were $35. They gone up to $40. But if I get caught with a package, I pay a fine of $108.
No. No.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
What?
When the OPP stole my truck, the last time I was up there, as I was sitting on the side of the road watching my truck being stolen by the OPP, cops said there's new legislation going through right now that anybody caught driving off the reserve with a carton of cigarettes, their vehicle can be confiscated and they will not be allowed to get it back.
Are you serious?
Absolutely, 100%, my friend.
I have to call that up because, but see, this is where we're getting to. Okay, I mean, this is absolutely retarded. Like, if you buy a carton of smokes for less than $60, they're likely illegal. If you bought a pack of smokes for less than $6, those are illegal. And this is simply a fact of, and this is the other thing that's wrong with this. Okay, is that how is it that if we're all living in the same supposed country, that certain peoples can buy their smokes cheap and the rest of us can't? Okay, you can't swing that shit in a court, right? If that guy lives in Canada or gal, and they can buy their smokes for $4 a pack, and I got to pay $12 a pack, something's wrong here. You say, well, they're natives, okay? Well, then if they're native, then they must be the government. And the government ain't the government, because if you're giving these people special status, then they're obviously not Canadians, right?
They're
Therefore, I'm going to go join their group, right?
Me too. I'm gonna get a peace pipe and some feathers for my head.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be the chief.
So the natives can put out the same smokes and make a profit on them at $40 a carton, or $10 or $12 for the bag carton. Yet you want me to pay you, the government, $12 a package so that you get your tax money.
Yeah.
So you're saying that smokes are actually very, very cheap to produce, but
Yep.
we're very, very greedy. And if you find cheaper smokes, well, then we're going to make them more expensive by giving you a fine. And that cop actually told you that if you get caught coming off a reserve with smokes, they'll take your car.
Well, no, what he told me, the first thing is, I think I've explained this story before, is they got me for going over the speed limit on a flat road with no houses around, no cars, no nothing.
Well, then you were obviously a threat to the world, weren't you?
That's when they stole my truck at that point, and I had to sit on the side of the road and watch it. And as we were sitting there, we had to wait for the tow truck. I mean, give them kudos, I guess, for the fact that they didn't handcuff me and throw me in jail. But
wait till the Israelis take over the security.
Yeah. But anyways, so we're just sitting there talking because we had, I had nothing. What am I going to do? Run? They'll shoot me. So we're just sitting there chatting, and he says, "Oh yeah," and I said, I said, "Yeah." On occasion, I said, "I'll grab a pack of smokes or a carton of smokes while I'm up here." And he said, "And I got to bury them." And the cop said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, they're passing new legislation now that if we pull you over and we fine them, not only do we fine you, we confiscate your vehicle with the provision that you are not allowed to get that vehicle back." And I went, "Get out of town."
Yeah, way out of town.
Yeah, he said, "Yep." He said, "That's what we're doing." And he had a smile on his face when he was telling me this.
Well, sure, because they just keep...
This cocksucker fucking... I pay his wages.
And I'm sure he appreciates it.
To harm me. And
well, he gets a pretty good check for driving around in a car, bothering people. you know. So fair is fair.
That's God's honest truth, Ron. When I heard that, I just, well, what was I going to do? I'm on the side of the road. I'm totally at their mercy. They're stealing my truck. As they're just destroying my freaking life, my business, they're telling me about how they're going to make it even worse on me.
Yeah, because
you guys are fucking pathetic. Bring on the hemp rope.
Well, they got to make a living, eh?
Yeah.
And
I won't go there. Yeah.
And they want to get the cars off the road, and they want to make money. So it all works out for somebody. Nobody I know, but
that's part of what he said with with stealing my truck.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
As the female that was the initial one that pulled me over, point of contact, he pulled up to back her up because I'm a pretty scary looking guy, right?
I heard that.
Yeah. And
that's why the only dog you can have is a pit bull.
I need it.
I ain't living there.
For my protection.
Yeah.
I scare people too much and they want to fight back. Yeah. But anyway, you made me lose my train of thought.
The woman, then the guy came to back up the woman. Right?
Oh, no, the man came back to back up the woman. But as far as the driving part was concerned, I said, what the fuck was I doing wrong? I was doing 130 kilometers, which I don't know, miles per hour, that would be 100 miles an hour, on a flat concrete road with no houses around, no vehicles even around for a mile, going straight on a dry, hot day.
130 K is only 90 miles an hour.
Okay, 90. Well, there you go, 90. I don't know. I hate conversions.
No, it's...
But anyways.
So not even that. It's like
my point was, I was driving to the conditions of the road at the time. And he said, yeah, but these roads can get pretty slick when it rains. And I said, well, it's not raining. And, yeah, well, he said, government needs the money.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
And I went,
why does the government need the money? Because the government's a business.
Yeah.
And the legal code that you broke is the bylaw of the company. And I don't recall getting hired by any company called Canada. So bite me. We got to get our act together here. I mean, this is beyond stupid. And I think we're a lot smarter than we give ourselves credit for. So now I want to go to the reserve and get some smokes and hang around the reserve, and maybe right on the side of the car. I don't live here, and I bought smokes and see if they come and take the car.
Yeah. They got red flag on the top. Yeah. Yeah.
I do got that Mohawk flag that Krusty sent me. Maybe I'll put that on the aerial. Because I mean,
leave me alone.
What?
I'm an Indian. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, don't piss me off. All right, I'm an Indian.
I got warriors to back me up.
Remember Aplewash? Remember Caledon?
Yeah.
Right? Don't mess with us. Right?
Jesus, you could do shows on them, couldn't you?
I'd love to get some of them guys on the show, man. I've tried to.
We'll work
natives, on it. Well, the natives have been like the black people in the States, and the Hispanics have been taught to hate the white man. Like I did anything wrong to a native person? No, not ever. People don't seem to understand that the same. We should be hating. We should be joining together and hating what needs to be hated, and that's the ones that is dividing the people in that. You have all these groups don't trust each other, right? Because they're told not to trust each other. And meanwhile, they keep moving along with their nonsense and keep tying us down worse and worse every time.
Well, with the natives, with me personally, I've been working up there for 3 years off and on projects in that area, so I'm constantly in communication with them, buying cigarettes and getting gas. It's a lot cheaper when you do it up there.
Uh-huh.
They have that at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I have they do get it. They understand. They're not against the white man per se. They have their issues and how do I say this? Mainstream media wise, they have an attitude. But when you talk to them personally and explain to them what's going on, they get it.
Well, they know what's going on, because when I talked to that native woman and I said, how come the natives get it so quick and the white man seems oblivious to what's going on right in front of his face? And she said, simple, we lived through it, now it's your turn. Now, it couldn't be anything more prophetic than that, because, she's saying, look at us and that's your future. They get it. Yeah, they get it. And the reserve that I go to, they're pissed. They changed out their council, I think, finally. There was a big election up here, and I think they managed to throw out a lot of the council because the native people realized that their so-called representatives were nothing but monkeys, doing as they're told, and and greasing their own palms, right? And that really pissed the people off in that particular area. And it's they got the same problems we got. They got their elected people, their so-called elected people, are crooked as you can get. So as far as between the natives and the so-called white people, we suffer from the same thing, and it's called corruption.
Well, they're trying to kill the white race. We know that.
Well, you're going to have a hard time getting this.
They are, and that's a fact, Jack. They're trying to kill the white race. The Jews are trying to kill the white race.
Well, I'm going to become a Zionist Jew, and then I got all my bases covered.
Fake it. Get inside, and then,
Well, that's it. That's the answer, isn't it? Get inside. Get inside.
Yeah.
Run for your local council.
Yeah.
Run them sons of bitches out, right? Because if we can't bring ourselves to do that simple little thing, then we get exactly what we deserve. All these people that are supposedly waking up in that now, if they can't zone in, how simple is this? Global to local, giving all the power to the global. How frickin' simple is that to understand? And where's it being done? Oh, I don't know, maybe the local level? And people can't even stand up, put $100 on the table, and run. You got to get a hold of local council. You don't get a hold of local council, then you're going to have a Israeli trained UN frickin' security guy banging on your frickin' door. Now, Dougie, my friend Dougie, who was in the United Nations Armed Forces when he was like 18 years old, didn't take him long to. What he said in his talk? He said, this has been going on all over the world, only you don't hear about it. And he said, when they come over here to do the same shit, they're going to promote it the same way they always promote it, that, we're doing great things for the people, be it Haiti or just pick anywhere, and all they're doing is trashing the people and stealing the resources. So, we want to have a fruitful existence.
Trudeau with the pink shirt
is
Trudeau with the pink shirt is trying to revamp our UN peacekeeping missions, apparently.
Well, our police have been sent to the UN missions for years and years and years and years. They go there for training. Right? Okay, so it's basically it's basically our police forces are being Israeli militarily trained under the guise of being sent to UN missions.
Oh, but Canada's a peacekeeping nation, Ron. Come on. You know, that's what we do. We
Canada is a collection of 34 million idiots. Is what this place is.
Minus 10 or 20.
Well, all right. But for the most part, Canada is just a collection of idiots spread thinly across a very large landmass. Just like the Americans are a bunch of idiots spread across a very large landmass. How we can put up with this nonsense is beyond me. I mean, it's beyond me. I don't get it.
It's time to call it. Like,
it's time to call it. It's time to go take these clowns at the local level and kick them to the curb.
Yeah. You get 15.
And then when the province when the province
jail,
what?
In handcuffs and leg shackles.
How? I'm an elected official.
That's what they do, Ron. I've been there, done that.
Been where? Where you been?
Oh, I probably spent as much time in jail as I have talking to you right now.
Well, then spend some time at the local council.
Yeah.
Because when you run the local council, look at it this way.
Shut my mouth.
Look at it this way. The local
Once
council,
you're there, you can't talk much.
What?
Once they throw you in jail, you can't talk much.
Well, how are they going to throw you?
People that have not been there don't understand. When they throw your ass in jail to shut your mouth, you can't even make a freaking phone call unless you got a bell line. You know?
What's that got to do? I mean, I've been there. It's kind of a happy place.
Yeah.
Guys, I learned real quick. It was the best job in the.
If they really don't like you, they'll take you to Toronto, to the Don jail. They used to take you to the Don. It's closed down now.
They always.
And it was full of blacks, so they take the white boy that was like you and I, and they throw you in jail.
I was in jail a couple of times.
Good luck.
I was in administration, right? They loved me there, right? I don't know.
A&D.
Huh?
A&D.
Well,
administration and discharge.
Well, I mean, I never had a
problem. I know all the lingo, Ron.
But I wasn't there as a pissed off inmate. I was there just somebody that was stuck somewhere for a while and decided, well, let's see, I could sit here and call these people names and that ain't going to go very far. So, it takes no time to get on the good side of these clowns because they're not real intelligent. And that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is we go get the local councils back. And then because, get this, you're going to love this. I mean, who hires the police? The local council. Okay? That's who's in charge of the police, is the local councils. And so once you have control of the council, guess what you got control of? You got control of the police. Now, maybe that'll help some people down in America. Maybe that'll inspire them to go and run at the local councils. Because now you're in control of the police. Now you can start getting something done. Okay? Now you can get something done. Because the police are just a bunch of idiots. Do as they're told. So, you tell them what to do. You tell them what not to do. Bring the chief in, you can set his ass down and say, look, I'm talking to you, buffoon head. Right? Do as you're told or I'm going to kick your ass out of here and you're going to be working at McDonald's. You like that? Okay? I mean, the power is at the local level. And people, for some freaking...
You don't have that, Ron.
They're thick freaking skulls. Now, anybody out there complaining that is not prepared to put their $100 down and run has absolutely no right to be complaining about anything. Now, I'll be running in 2018. I'll be running as mayor again. Okay? Why? Do I want to be the mayor? Do I want to be involved in local politics? I'd rather just eat barbed wire. But you got to do what's got to get done. Okay? And if we're not prepared to do what needs to get done, and it's not dangerous, it's not expensive, it's just a simple matter of I've had enough of this crap and I'm running. And the idea is that you get yourself some knowledge before you run. I mean, anybody that listens to these shows can overtalk. The intelligent level of people listening to the show is so far above any local counselor. You can smoke them. There's nothing they can talk about. You can't overtalk them. Nothing.
No, that's absolutely true. There's
well, let's get it done.
People have been listening to your show and others like on UCY and Revolution Radio. They get it.
Well, then let's get moving.
And then if you have a conversation with a neighbor that is totally brainwashed, they don't have a discussion with you. They just look like you got a hole in your head. Because they're not even close to getting it.
Well, that still has not.
Oh, you listen to the internet? Oh, yeah, you get all your information there. Where do you get yours?
That's still no excuse. That's still nobody's excuse.
Media,
That's nobody's excuse if you talking to somebody that's retarded. I mean, we were having the conversation out here yesterday, me, Dan, and Art, and we were having a pretty good discussion. And, Dan's from Kitchener, and if somebody came over here right now and just sat down and just started listening to us, right? He said they wouldn't have a sweet bejesus clue what we're even talking about.
I know.
And that, for the most part, is true.
That's pathetic.
It may be pathetic, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So those who know are the ones that have the duty to do what's got to get done. And if those that know can't step up to the plate and do what needs to get done, then whose fault is it? Is it the one that doesn't know what's going on? Of course it's not their fault. It's the fault of those who know and yet won't step forward. I would have more respect for somebody who doesn't have a clue than somebody who knows what's going on and can't bring themselves to step forward. Well, they're guilty. The idiot's not guilty. He doesn't know nothing. Those that know and won't do, they're the guilty parties. Those that know and go, well, I'm going to vote Trump. Well, then you're an idiot.
Well, that's a fucking show I've been listening to, and I stopped listening. They're promoting Trump, and they talk about the Jews, and they really cool show up until the point now they're promoting Trump. He's just a player, but they're promoting him, and that's
it was the same as when it's no different when the same radio shows were pumping Ron Paul, which was going to go nowhere quick. So it's just an excuse to do nothing. And, if these shows had been, if all the online radio shows made an effort to inspire their listeners to get up and get what needs to be done, maybe we could get something done. But they don't want to go there.
Well, we're running there.
They always got the people looking for the hero. Well, the hero is the one looking back at you from the mirror in the bathroom. That's the hero. Are we out of time already? Holy crap. Well, listen, we're running over top of the next show, me and Chris. Anyways, sounds like we're out of time.
Lower classes, social slime, they don't matter, genocide. Sick from water, sick from air, making money, they don't care. Caesar shit, force of air, fuck them back, it's only